So Nick Sirianni had a nice little chit chat with the media and was talking about Giants fans. And he said, sometimes you see Giant fans around here being so close and they give me a good, hey, go Giants. I typically let it go. But if the fan gets me good enough, I usually say, we got your best player. That's the exact quote he gave. And listen, there's nothing wrong with him saying that. Let me be very clear on that.
No.
If you talk trash to somebody who's in the NFL or a fan of another NFL team, even for that matter,
you got to get it back.
You're going to get it back. That's life. I got no problem with him going back at the fans. What I do think is he's delusional. Saquon Barkley is not the best player on the Giants, and it wasn't last year.
No, he was at one point.
Yeah,
yes.
At one point he was, but not the last year. So, I mean, look at what they gave this guy. Again, it was the very first day of tampering. They signed him 3-year, $37.75 million contract, $26 million guaranteed. They're also in the middle of an investigation with the NFL right now for illegal tampering during the legal tampering, which my understanding from what I've heard is that they're saying they had direct contact with him when they're not supposed to do that during that tampering. It's supposed to go between the agent and the middleman, which is just stupid as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it like that. That's freaking stupid. That's like saying, oh, you tell so-and-so that I said this. And then so you tell so-and-so back that I said, like, that's just stupid. If you're getting to that level, just cut out the middleman and let them talk. That's the dumbest thing ever. I will never get that. But that's the rules. He broke the rules. So they're probably going to get some kind of penalty. Probably like I think they're probably going to lose like a late round pick from doing that. But I mean, the Giants didn't even make an offer to Saquon. Could you imagine any situation where a team goes, this is my best player I have. Let's let him walk. That doesn't happen. The best players on the Giants are Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas. It's not Barkley. You could even make the case that Barkley wasn't even the best player we lost in free agency. Xavier McKinney's younger. He played literally every single down last season. He got a much bigger contract than Barkley got. You could make that case. You wouldn't be wrong either way. It's kind of like it's hard to say who's better at the running back, the safety. I get it. Neither one of them are high priority positions. But
anymore.
Yeah. But like I said, if you're making that case, then you could potentially say McKinney, Thomas, Barkley, McKinney, Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, all better than Barkley in that scenario.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you're making cases for him being top 5 Giant, but definitely not the best. And again, I'm not trying to be just disrespectful because the guy left. Like, I definitely hold a grudge. I'm not going to hide that just because of who he went to. Should have gone to Houston. Don't be a jerk. But, he wasn't. Like, he had a down year last year. There's a reason we let him go. He's not as fast as he used to be. He's lost some of his abilities. Now, he'll have better blocking in Philly and probably have 1 or 2 good years there because of that. But he's not the player he was.
Yeah, so. Especially you gotta. Once you start losing that step, it's a snowball effect of how fast it's going to happen. Not everyone's Derrick Henry, who's like put some tread in those tires, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at that, they're bald, but they still run just as smooth.
Got racing slicks at this point.
Yeah, right.
I'm surprised he's still going. Sir, you blew your sidewall out. How are you still going? These are not run flats. But it's like, you look at his tenure with the Giants. He's 4th overall in rushing yards, 5,211 yards, 7th in total yards, 7,311 yards. So you can sit there and say he's one of the best running backs ever to play for the Giants, and that'd be 100% accurate. He's played in 74 games as a Giant overall. During his time since he was drafted number 2 overall out of Penn State. And obviously he wasn't healthy for every single one of these games, but I'm just giving you the overall record since 2018. 34, 64, and 1. That's kind of bad. And I mean kind of, I mean extremely.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're not even close to 500.
Like,
to get a Giants sword close to 500 either. So,
but that's where I'm getting at. Like, it used to be, and maybe it's just a change in the NFL, or maybe it's because Barkley is a little bit overrated to a certain degree potentially. And I don't mean that as like he's a bad player. He's a damn good player. I'm just not 100% sold at him being elite all the time. He has flashes that he goes elite. Like 22, he was elite. It's not 22, he was elite. His rookie year, he was elite. The rest of the years, you know, look how many teams, like you mentioned Derrick Henry a minute ago. Derrick Henry made the Titans good. You know, he was such a good running back that Ryan Tannehill looked serviceable. Being honest.
It's brutally honest, but you're not wrong.
I mean, did Barkley do that for us?
Didn't carry Jones.
No. I mean, how many years in his prime, and granted, his prime is over, but how many years were the Cowboys a really good offense because of Zeke? You know, Dak Prescott was still learning how to be a quarterback. He was a mid-round pick, you know, and they had a good offensive line. They had Zeke, and that's what made him give him a chance to develop, you know? So he didn't do that. Again, I'm not trying. I almost feel like I feel like I'm kicking a guy on the way out, and I kind of am to a certain degree.
I was going to say, you kind of are.
I kind of am, and I'm kind of okay with it because he went to Philly. But it's like, if you think he was the best player on the Giants roster, you're delusional. Last year, at least, again, go back to 22. You can say that he was the best player in 22. You know, go back to his rookie year. You can say that. Those 2 years, you can say that. Guys, he played 6 years with us. So you're saying 1/3 of the time he was the best player? That's not elite. That's above average with the occasional elite year. I know that outside circumstances, our offensive line was bad. There was bad quarterback play, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, another argument you can make, you say 6 seasons, but he was probably healthy for 4 seasons.
That's the issue. And that's why he's not
that was exactly my case.
But that's why he's not the best player.
And that's what I was about to say. Allude to. We've talked about it plenty of times. Best player, the best ability is availability.
Damn straight.
And if you have a guy, like look at Waller. Guy's a great player, but was he available to play? No. I mean, you put together his numbers. We've done it before.
Yeah.
He would have been like
per game stats were not bad at all.
Yeah. He was top 5 receiver in a tight end position, right? Last year?
Yeah. By a per game basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, you think about the fact that he got injured multiple times during games, that hurt those numbers as well. He was definitely, when healthy, was actually, and it's crazy because I know people look at the overall year and the injuries and they can't get past that. But if you look at his per game stats, especially if you take out the games he was halfway through the game he got pulled.
He left, yeah.
They were good. You know, the man needs to spend more time with football and less time with microphones. That's for goddamn sure. Say, stop rapping, please.
For the love of God, please.
Yeah, please. So.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.